Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. President Donald Trump has escalated warnings to Iran, threatening military action if any mines remain in the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial passage carrying roughly 1/5 of global oil. The US military has eliminated 16 Iranian mine-laying vessels, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirming strikes targeted ships and storage facilities. Trump said technology used against drug traffickers could permanently eliminate any vessel attempting to mine the strait. Earlier confusion over tanker escorts added to global uncertainty, as a deleted claim that a US Navy convoy had escorted a tanker was later denied by the White House. Global oil markets are in turmoil as conflicting reports on the US and Israel's operations against Iran create extreme volatility. Brent crude fell 17% on Tuesday, dipping below $80 a barrel, before rebounding near $90 after a brief, now-deleted claim that the US Navy had escorted a tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. Prices later dropped below $85 amid talks of a historic oil reserve release by the International Energy Agency. The Strait of Hormuz, carrying about 1/5 of the world's oil, remains effectively closed due to Iranian threats, with US strikes on 16 mine-laying vessels failing to fully stabilize markets. Analysts warn rising prices could worsen global inflation and slow growth, prompting price caps and rationing in countries including South Korea, Thailand, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. US senators have raised concerns that President Donald Trump could deploy American ground forces in Iran, warning of growing risks amid the escalating conflict. After a classified briefing to the Senate Armed Services Committee, Senator Jan Shaheen said Democrats were alarmed by the administration's approach, citing intelligence that Russia may be providing Iran with targeting information on US bases and ships. Senator Richard Blumenthal warned the US could be heading toward a ground deployment, noting potential support for Tehran from Russia and China. Lawmakers are calling for public testimony to clarify the war's costs, risks, and strategy. Reports also suggest the White House may seek around $50 billion from Congress to fund the conflict. North Korea has voiced support for Mojtaba Khamenei as Iran's new supreme leader, praising the decision by Iran's Assembly of Experts. In a statement, Pyongyang condemned recent US and Israeli military strikes on Iran as unlawful attacks that threaten regional peace and stability. The announcement comes amid intensifying tensions between Iran and the US-Israel alliance. KCNA also highlighted North Korea's ongoing missile tests and nuclear developments, with leader Kim Jong-un emphasizing the importance of a strong nuclear deterrent. Pyongyang suggested potential diplomatic engagement with the US could improve if its nuclear status is recognized. The Trump administration says it used about $5.6 billion in munitions during the first 2 days of strikes against Iran. The revelations were made in a report sent to US congressional committees. Lawmakers have voiced concern the conflict could quickly drain US military stockpiles. The White House has not publicly detailed the full cost of the war launched with Israel late last month. However, some officials expect the administration to soon ask Congress for tens of billions of dollars in additional funding. The United States and Israel have reportedly launched their most intense airstrikes yet on Iran, with US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying the latest wave included more fighters, bombers, and refined intelligence than before. Residents in Tehran also described last night as the war's most intense one in terms of bombardment. Despite the escalation, global markets are betting President Donald Trump may soon end the conflict. At least 486 people have been killed and 1,313 others injured in Lebanon as Israeli strikes intensify during the wider Middle East conflict. The World Health Organization says nearly 1/5 of those killed or injured are children. Also, the UN Refugee Agency said more than 667,000 people have been displaced across Lebanon, including about 100,000 people who fled their homes in just one day after Israeli evacuation orders in southern Lebanon and Beirut's southern suburbs. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.